Hey everyone! Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. We are going to sew a beautiful purse today. I think this purse can be used for a Christmas party. It's a classy looking purse. We are going to make it out of vinyl and cotton canvas. And it is called the Makayla. It's by Deja Patterns. And Andrea did approve me to do this pattern, so I thank her for that. I have not done this yet, so we are going to sew it together, or it's going to be the first time me sewing it. So I'm sure I'll make a few mistakes here and there. So this pattern is a small pattern. To me, it reminds me of a Christmas party pattern, like an office party that you go to. This would be perfect. We're going to be making it in the medium, but I would make it in the small. The medium is just, I think it's going to be just a little bit too big after looking at the measurements and cutting everything out. I did go ahead and cut everything out and did all of my interfacing. This pattern can be done with a twist lock, or you can put snaps underneath and put your little bag tag right here. There's 3 different ways to do the straps. You can have half a strap with half a chain, like this one. You can have a full strap, a full material strap, or you can have just the chain. So this is very pretty. We're going to be doing it in vinyl or faux leather. It's kind of a light seafoam green with a swirly teal blue cotton canvas lining. And it goes together very quickly. So let's get over to my machine and sew this pattern. Okay, the pieces to make the Makayla are this front flap piece. I already put my handmade bag tag on, and I put my Decaville light on, and I covered that with SF101. Now the reason I did that is because I have found that if I don't cover it, it tends to wrinkle when I turn the bag, so I decided to start covering it. I reinforced the tag with 2 pieces of Decaville light, and then I put tape on the back. So that's the outside flap. Here is the lining flap. I put my mail pieces on already. Reinforce those with Decaville Heavy. Put a fusible fleece that I got from By Annie's, and covered that with SF101. I always try to excuse me, I always try to do my reinforcement for my magnetic pieces or anything that is on the bag either in an oval shape or a circular shape, not square, because the square tends to, you can see it through the bag for some reason. This is the back piece of the bag. I drew my line for the flap strap that's going on the back, which is right here. This is my front piece for the bag. I put my female pieces on. Again, I did the same method on the back. Here is my 2 pocket pieces and my 2 lining pieces, and I already cut out my overlay, and I just taped it down where it's supposed to be, and my zipper. Then I have 2 connector strips that are going to go on the side. Those are going to attach to the gusset. And I have 2 connector straps that are going to go on the gusset. I already did my strap, so you can do yours per the instructions. It's a 3/4 inch strap, and it calls for 3/4 inch hardware. I did put strap ends on the bottom. I also have a silver chain that I'm going to put, so it will be interchangeable, where you can use either the strap or the chain. And this is my gusset. Now I did something different with my gusset. I put the Decaville on, and then I put Decaville Light, and then I put 2 pieces of Decaville Light on the base part. The reason I did that is because I only had tiny scraps of Decaville Heavy, which I use for my reinforcements of my tags or my snaps. So I thought, well, 2 pieces of Decaville Light should do the job, so I put that on there and then covered that with SF101. And those are the pieces for the bag, and let's get over to my sewing machine so we can sew these. Okay, hope you can see this. So I did get Andrea's permission to do this tutorial, so I just wanted to let y'all know that. The first thing we're going to start out with, rarely do I follow the pattern. I'm going to start out with something that I know how to do, is the zipper overlay. So you want to make sure you put your zipper pull on your zipper. You need to use a number 5, and the length you can find in the pattern. You want to make sure you burn your ends or melt them down so your zipper doesn't fray. And I see. And then I always sew a couple back stitches across the ends, because I'm always afraid that my zipper pull is gonna come off. Okay, so we have this taped down, the zipper overlay, and we are going to top stitch around the outside edge at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Put that other piece to the side. I am using Xiazw thread. It is called, is this Amazement, something like that. Amazement. It's Tech 70. I'm using a 14 needle, and I'm sewing on my sailrite. And I think that's it. After turn the machine on. Okay. I'm going to start just a hair, probably even with this end of the rectangle. So now we're going to cut this out, and then we'll put the zipper in. Okay, so now we're going to put our zipper on one of our pocket pieces. We're going to pull our zipper end all the way to the end. You want your zipper right side up and your pocket piece right side up. I'm going to clip it to the end, or you can use tape. We're going to baste at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now we're going to sew. We're going to sew at 1/8 inch seam allowance. I turned it down to between 4.5 and 4.75 for my stitch length. Okay, it's going to sit in your pocket like this. So you want to open this up and you want to go press these. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go press these and then come back and we will put it in our overlay. Okay, I got this nice and pressed, nice and flat. So now we are going to put some tape on here. I'm out of double-sided tape, so I'm going to use this scrapbooking tape that I had left over from my scrapbooking days. If there's any in here. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to use 1/8 of an inch tape. If I can find it. Wash away tape, I guess. Which I don't like. zipper out of the way. The zipper pull. Neighbor's dogs again. Alright, so get your zipper pull out of the way, and I like to start on the bottom, and you want clip that there, and you want to center it. Hope my head's not in the way. I'm not going to stand up this time. My last video I did this and I had my head and my shoulders in the way, so try and do it like this. Okay. Get it as close as you can without touching the zipper part. I'm not liking that. Press it down. And turn this over. Take your tape off of this side. Oh, I think I got it. All right. Had to pull my glasses down for that one. Oh no, come on. And then the paper pulls off. I got my walk tape on order. It should be here Wednesday, so. Okay, and then you stick that down on that side without good. This needs to go up a little. Just a little. Okay, so I'm keeping my zipper pull here. I'm going to start about here and go around. And when I get to about right here, I will lift this up and pull my zipper pull through. Okay? I just find that it keeps it, whoops, it keeps it flatter. You have more control of it, and you're not moving your zipper back and forth. We're going to start, and we're going to sew at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm going to start about right there. Here, pick this up. And pull it through. holding my zipper tape with my fingers. Because you want to keep that closed and even. Hold your finger over that. Back stitch at that corner. Pivot. Back stitch at that corner. Finish your pivot. And then you just pull that through. And I probably should have made my hole a little bit bigger. I think that, yeah. And it should look like that. And then we will close up the ends. So now you will notice that there's about half an inch or more here hanging down. You'll want to cut that off. Then you will want to fold that up a little bit. Fold this side up about the same. Do the same over here. And we are going to keep those folds together. And we're going to clip them if we can. Keep those folds together. And keep those together. We're going to sew down here. We're going to lift this up like that. And we're going to sew. We're going to keep that up. Now this can be open a little bit. We're going to start here and sew down at 3/8 inch seam allowance. And you do want a back stitch. Going to leave our bottom of our pocket open for turning. Flip that over. Start up here. And thread out. Back stitch. And what this is going to do is when you close up your bag at the end, you're already going to have this already done. Okay, so you just pull it like that and clip it and be done with it. So that is our zipper overlay. We are going to take these pieces and stitch them together on the side, and we will leave the, I think we're leaving the bottom open for turning. Let me check that out. Yes, the bottom of the zipper, I was right. The bottom of the zipper is left for turning. So we're going to close up the sides. And we're going to stitch at 3/8 inch seam allowance. And you'll notice on the top that it curves in. See how it curves? You want to follow that curve it in, and then it's not a straight line. Your back stitch right there. Back stitch right there. We're going to leave the bottom open for now, and then we will just set this piece aside and we will work on the gussets. Okay, top should be open and the bottom should be open. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to take your pattern piece, excuse me, you're going to lay it on top of here. You'll see some very faint lines here. One says connector strip placement. You're going to kind of pull this over to the side, and you're going to make a mark with your either your erasable marker, your air marker, your chalk. So you make a mark there. Then there's a dotted line, make a mark. Then there's another dotted line, make a mark. And then there's a flat line, you make a mark. So it says connector strip placement. This one doesn't say anything, but on the pattern it calls to mark it. Then connector end placement, and then connector strip placement bottom. So all four of those need marked on this side. Then you want to pull your pattern piece over this way. Make sure you keep the top lined up, and you want to mark those lines. Here, 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 and here. On the solid line, the dotted line, the dotted line, and the solid line. And do that at the other end of the gusset. And then what I did is I just took a ruler and my chalk, and I connected those lines on that end and on this end. The reason I did the chalk is that's going to come off. I'm not so confident that this always comes off of vinyl. So those are the marks that you're going to have for your straps and your connector straps. So get all of that marked, and then we will go over to the machine and put the straps on, sew up the straps and put the straps on the gusset. Okay? Okay, I've got all of mine. Here are the 2 connector straps or strips, and here are the connector straps. So I have my tape put on, I've got my lines drawn down the middle, and we're going to just fold them up to the lines, each one. And I am going to sew at 1/8 of an inch and then 3/8 of an inch down all the sides of these bigger ones. Okay, so those should be done. Should have your connector strips and your 2 strap connectors. So now what you want to do is you want to find the center of your gusset, take your strap and put some tape on the right side of it. Then you are going to line that up on the second line up from the bottom, and you're going to center it, and you're going to stick it down in place. And then we're going to sew a box around here. Okay? I've just got this clipped up here just to hold it in place. We're going to sew the box down here. These. And don't worry about what it's going to look like because it's not going to show. It's going to be covered up with this. But if you're kind of picky like I am, then I guess you would worry if it shows. This box is just kind of securing it in place. And then you want to make sure you tie off and burn. I would tie all 4 of these together. Just to make it easier, tie it twice. Hi, Molly May. What's you doing? Huh? You watching Mom sew? Huh? Is it watching Mom sew? Okay, so then we're going to take this piece here and we're going to bring it down to that other line, and it should be just above the box. And I'm not going to use tape. I'm going to be brave and try it without tape. I'm holding it with my fingers right now. And we're going to make another box right there on top of that. And you want to make just a little bit smaller box. And you want to tie off and burn that too. And then we'll go to the next step of doing the strap cover. So it should look like that. And then we are going to take this piece here, and you're going to put the template over it, and you are going to cut so this piece is the size of the template. It's going to be in an angle. Take the template off. Then you are going to take the template and then you are going to kind of bump it up a little bit so it looks like that, and you are going to line it up and clip it. I'm going to take this over to my table to make sure mine is straight. Yes, it is straight. And then you're going to sew at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance down both sides, just to tack it on there. And I did backstitch on mine. I'm not tying those off and burning them. And it should look like that. And we will go ahead and work on the flat piece. Flap piece. Okay, I did go ahead and put a rivet on mine. So that is what it looks like. And then you can do the other end on your own. You can rewind the video and see how we did this one. So you want to take your lining piece and your flat piece, your exterior flat piece. If you haven't already, go ahead and put your logo on the front if you're using a logo. And also, if you're using the magnetic snaps like I am, go ahead and put those on. If you're using the twist lock, you can do that now. And those directions are on page 27 of the pattern. So after you get that done, you want to put your right sides together of your lining and your exterior flap. That's a hard word for me to say, I don't know why. And we are going to sew around the sides, leaving the top open for turning. I'm going to try and do this without clipping. I'm getting brave. You're going to sew at a 3/8 inch. And you want to follow the pattern just like it is. You're going to go to that first point. You're going to have your needle down, and you're going to pivot. And you're going to come straight down. Under that next point, and pivot a little bit, and you're going to take the curve. You should be able to see your usable fleece or your foam or whatever you're using underneath. You should be able to see the line underneath your SF101 that you put on top of it, because you should have it cut out, cut back away from the seam allowance, foam or fleece or whichever you're using. And you want to just sew right along the edge of it, and that will be your 3/8 inch seam allowance. So we're going to sew up this way, and pivot, sew straight up to this next mark, pivot a little bit, and we are going to try and cut with pinking shears. I don't know how that's going to work. Mine, I should have bought some when I was at the store today. But let me cut it. That's not going to. Okay. I'm going to have to give me some new ones. So cut down to like 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Well, leave the curve, because if you don't have pinking shears, then we are going to snip around the curve. So cut that extra down. And then we're just going to snip in here. I still got to use two hands because my hand's not quite healed. And it's been hurting lately with this cold weather here in Michigan. We got about 2 inches of snow on the ground, and it is supposed to snow some more starting this evening until Tuesday late afternoon. Yay! And that was a sarcastic yay. 'Cause I don't like snow. The older I get, the less I like it. Okay, so we snipped all the way around there. So now we are going to turn this bad boy out, right side out. Okay, so we got that off. You just flatten it out the best you can. And then you want to clip around the edge of these big clips. That's way. So we are going to top stitch all the way around here. Turn my stitches up to just over 5. Top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. Alright, it should look like that. And the back will look like that. Pretty, pretty. Okay, so if you haven't already, I would go ahead and make your flap strap that goes on the back. I already did mine. I suggest, I like mine really super flat so there's not a whole lot of bulk. So what I do is got one of these rollers. It's called a brayer that I got with my Cricut machine. I always flatten my straps out. When I tape them and then I put them together, I'll flatten them out to make them really flat. And then I'll go down the center, and then I'll go on the edge, on each edge, like that, and like that, so they're really thin. I don't like that bulky stuff. I'm weird. Okay, so you want to find your centers of your back exterior piece. Then I took a ruler and I drew down with my chalk center line. Then you want to take your pattern piece, if you haven't already, and you want to mark your lines, connect them with your chalk. And the reason you want to do that is your flap piece, you want to put it on the exterior with the right side facing up. And you're going to take your little notch for your center and you're going to line it up on the center line that you just drew and this first top line that you drew. Now what I did is I clipped the sides with 2 little clips, and then I've got these ginormous clips that I put here just to make it secure, because we are gonna stitch across here at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then on top of that one we're gonna, well, not on top of it, but above it, we're gonna stitch across here above that 1/8 of an inch away from there, or 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Okay, and you are going to stitch, you're not going to top stitch, so it's going to be a regular seam stitch. So it will do that. And you do want a back stitch. Ooh. 1/8 of an inch all the way across. And then 1/8 of an inch away from that first line. And the back stitch. This just makes it secure, that the flap is secure on there, because it's going to be opening and closing a lot, so you want a secure flap. Okay. Okay. It should look like that. Then we're going to take this piece, and we're going to run some tape down the center of it, right down the center. I'll be so glad when my walk tape gets here, or way whack. You guys say way whack, I say woe walk. I should have asked them what they call it, because I had to call them and talk to them about something that I needed clarification on. I should have said, how do you pronounce your name? Waywak or Wawak? Okay, get that. So then you are going to line this up with that bottom line. If I could see. And it's going to hang over just a smidge. And then we're going to take our big fat clip and move it down. And I'm going to take this over to the table for a minute and make sure it's even. Bring my stuff down too. And it should look like that. Cute, huh? Cute, 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 cute. I think we're ready to do the gusset. Okay, grab your gusset. And what I did was I took some masking tape and I tucked my D-ring down and taped it because you want it to stay out of the way. I did both of them that way, so it doesn't flop out and get caught in your seam. And you should have a little center mark made on here on the back side, and you should have a little center notch made on your bottom. You are going to, in the center of this piece, and you're going to line them up, and you're going to clip around there. And you're just clipping the straight edge. Then you're going to take these, bring that up to here. And it might be a little weird. You want to line those up. Line your sides up. What are you woofing about, Molly Mae? And then you want to take this and bring it up, and you want to try and get around those corners. Use your finger if you have to get it around there. Sure they're even. This is a test to see if you cut it right. And you can clip if you need to. If I need to. Just a teeny bit though, and just clip the gusset part. Okay, and then do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that you got that clipped, we are going to sew all the way around here at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So you will basically be right up against where that fold is. Right up against there. Okay, it's good if you have a narrow foot or a zipper foot. Needles fell out of my drawer here. Oops. Okay. I need a bigger rug, bigger room. Okay, so we are going to, now, you'll notice that your flap is getting in the way, so I'm going to lift mine up a little bit so I can get right up against that edge. Just lift it up, and we're going to sew at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And we are back stitching, and I turn my stitch back down to between 4.5 and 4.75. If you're on a domestic, you may need a hump jumper to go over that strap in the back. Now we're coming around the curve. You want to go slow because you don't want any puckering. If you have to stop and pivot it around, go ahead and do that. That's fine. Just don't get any puckering. I can tell you this pattern is very well cut. Usually I have a bunch of puckering on my curves. And this one I had none. And once I get this done, I am going to go around this one more time, a scant stitch away from my main stitch, just to reinforce it, because I try to do most of my bags like that, especially when I'm using vinyl or leather or faux leather. Yeah, baby, I like this. turn it out. Okay, well now we're coming up to that flap again, so you want to pick it up to get it out of the way. And back stitch. Woo! Hallelujah! So I'm going to go around this one more time. I'm not going over it. I'm going probably a 1/16 inch away from it this way. Okay, well now we're coming up to that flap again, so you want to pick it up to get it out of the way. And back stitch. Woo! Hallelujah! So I'm going to go around this one more time. I'm not going over it. I'm going probably a 1/16 inch away from it this way on the outside of the stitch, not on the inside of the stitch. And I don't usually back stitch for this stuff. Okay. And then I'm going to trim around there just a little bit. Well, I'm going to snip here on the corners. So when I turn it, I'm not getting to the seam. Trying to get that extra strip piece that's hanging out. I know this looks funny, but it's the only way I can cut through this vinyl. My hand's on fire. Come on, Tula Pink. You can cut through that. I know you can. In case you want to know, my scissors are made by Tula Pink. There. Woo! Hallelujah. Okay, keep that tape on there. Yay, so it will look like that so far. Then you can go ahead and do the other side on your own. Coming around the home stretch here, we got the outside of the bag done. So you want to push your flat piece in so it's like that. Like that. You want to take your lining piece and make sure it is right side out. You're going to put your lining piece inside the bag with the zip pocket part against the flat piece. Whew. Okay. You want to match up your centers first, the center front and the center back. I don't have a center front. Oops, naughty, naughty. Okay, push that down. You want this center piece of your lining piece centered up with your rivet if you have a rivet. If you don't have a rivet, center it up with this here. Holy cow. Do the same thing for the other one. Center it up, open up them seams on the lining. All right. Then open up your seams on your gusset and clip. Hard to open actually. It's hard to open that seam up because we trimmed it down so much. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good right there. I love that. Ooh. Open up this seam over here. Yes, that's gonna be good. Yeah, I like when I don't have to adjust nothing, finagle nothing. It makes me so happy. Yes, this is a very, very well written pattern. I'm going to ask her if I can do another one of her bags. Oopsie. This one's my fault because I don't have a centerpiece here. Molly Mae. Goodness sakes, what are you doing? Huh? There's nobody outside? Barking at them squirrels. Huh? Is it barking at them squirrels? Yep. All right, that is fitting so nice. So we are going to sew this around the top at 3/8 inch seam allowance. And you probably can't see what I'm doing. Let me move you. All right, so can you see that? I don't know how I'm gonna. We are going to. Molly, I'm gonna shut my door. Shh. Little stinker. So I'm going slow because I am. Now I'm gonna have to probably pick this bag up like I did when I did the gusset. Just kind of roll it around. That's why I'm going slow. Be a good time to have a cylinder machine. I may. I'm going to do this a little bit at a time. So bear with me. I could probably. No, I don't want to do it like that though. Okay, I'm going to do the front and the back. a lot easier to do this side. Whew. Whoopsie. Okay. Coming around this way. Whoa. What's that? Oh. All right, now I gotta figure out how to get. Around this part. Oh, I know how. I think. Boop. Maybe if I do it this way. I don't know. I don't know if I can squish it down enough. I'm talking to myself, sorry. Ooh, it's that flap. I don't want to get that D-ring. All right. Holy Toledo. Well, we got through that. Okay. Now, I believe we're going to turn our bag. Let me double check. What the heck? Seam up. Alright, let's see. I just had to clip this down. Okay. Saw something over. Okay, you want to turn your bag right side out. Then you want to tuck your lining in the way that it's going to be. Then you're going to clip all the way around. And as you're clipping, you want to roll your top seams down so they look like that. So there's no material sticking up here, and I'm going to move you. So I move my stitch up to 5.25, and we're going to top stitch. And I'm going to go very slow, and I'm going to try and top stitch it from the inside. I normally don't do that, but I'm going to try it just to see what happens. Hope I don't screw the bag up. Oops, I gotta keep your flap down too. You don't want to top stitch over your flap. I just about did. Would not be good. And we are not going to back stitch because we are going to pull the threads through. Well, I think I'm going to do this as soon as I get my thread out of there. There we go. Okay. Hold my breath. We're going to have to roll the bag again. Okay, so push your D-ring down. Make sure that that is out of the way. Pull that clip off. Whew. Bigger than Okay. Okay. So we're going to tie these off. Okay. Burn those. We're gonna pull it through the zipper part. So open the zipper and you're gonna pull your inside lining up. And you're gonna clip the bottoms and you're gonna box the corners through there. And that just makes for a neater, you don't have that turning mark at the bottom. So it should look like that, and you're going to sew across there. That's the bottom of the lining at 3/8 inch seam allowance. Ooh, gonna have to trim. Definitely. So far, so good. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, I am going to maybe it won't fray so much. I know my grandma used to use pinking shears. She said it helped so the material won't fray. I wonder if that's true. Okay, so now we are going to box these corners, and this This is not easy when this material is coming out of this little hole here. So just box them as best you can. I'm nesting my edges. Or my seams, sorry. Nesting my seams. And then you're going to sew across there at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Do the other side. Little funky things hanging out there. Sew that across at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. Okay, now push that back through the zipper. Houston, we got a saggy lining. Not liking that. Okay, so now remember how we turned our pocket thing in? All you have to do is pick that up like that. Pull it as tight as you can. And I'll just fold it down and clip together. You want to stitch across there as close to the edge as possible. Going to close up your pocket piece. But it is still okay. So, that's what the inside looks like. A zipper pocket. pieces here. And we will put the strap on. There. Nice, isn't that cute? Put the strap on and that should be it. This should have probably gone down farther. Down here farther. That was me, because I thought it needed to go up farther. Here is the Makayla by Andrea from Deja Patterns. Isn't that cute? I just love that. Here it is on the strap. Fits nicely. This is the medium size. And then we'll try the chain. The chain dresses it up a little. I think it would be nice to wear to a Christmas party with the chain on it. Yeah. My nails get in the way. Now you can make this with O-rings instead of D-rings. I would use the 1-inch O-rings though. So isn't that nice with the chain? Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, I like that. And this isn't a heavy chain, so it doesn't, I don't think it'll cut into your arm or anything. So 2 things, and I think they were my fault. This pattern is very well designed. I love it. I'm going to be doing another pattern of hers. I'll choose it off of her website and email her and ask her. Andrea did an awesome job about in designing this bag. So this here is my fault. Next time I would put the placement right here and keep it where she had it. When I looked at it, it looked like it was too low to me, but I can tell that I made a boo-boo by moving it up, so I would not do that. And then the lining, see how I had to tuck it under? Now I'm going to stitch this down by hand so it stays. I don't think I can do it. Well, I may take it back out and just redo it, cut it off, and size it up. I don't know. I think maybe the printer that I used, my printer was out of ink, so I had to go down to the library and print this pattern. And I think maybe it wasn't set quite right, but everything else turned out okay, except that lining. So I don't know what happened. And it could have gotten off kilter when it was printing off somehow. So I would watch the lining next time. If I had that same problem again, I would definitely go back and cut it down. If I use the pattern that I did print, I would definitely cut that down. But I would, if I was you, I would try yours the way you have it and see what happens. But I do believe that was not the designer's fault. So this is the Makayla by Deja Patterns. Thank you for sewing with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and come back and watch another video. I will be doing some more. So happy sewing and have a good day.